Hello, everybody, and welcome to a different edition of the Corporate Gamer broadcast. Tonight, I decided to do something slightly different. I didn't really feel like playing. Well, first of all, my RetroPie died, so I have to figure out a way to play that. I didn't really have anything on my Xbox that I felt like going that was retro enough that I wanted to play, and I wanted to do something different from Deus Ex. I played Deus Ex this week. I'm going to continue it if I stream tomorrow. But I wanted to do something different, and I've never actually done this, so like this is the first time. I don't know if this is going to work or not, if it's going to be taken down. But basically, I wanted to to do this. So I'm a big fan of paranormal videos. Well, paranormal, unexplained videos. It could be paranormal, UFO, whatever. It's always intrigued me. And but the thing about now is there's a lot of videos, like especially like this, what you're seeing right now on screen. It's a guy I've been watching for quite a while, Slap Tam, um, and it's a lot of the videos. It's like, oh, paranormal sightings that will freak you out, frightening videos. A lot of them, I feel they could be debunked. And I feel a lot of them are like student projects that they try to figure out like special effects how it would work, right? And then we're like, and the thing that I always laugh as well is every every video or the majority of video that you see is either super freaking fuzzy that basically artifacting makes it look like there's a shadow passing by, or the item is so freaking far that no, I'm not saying that it didn't happen, but usually there's an explanation of how you can get to make that happen. And now with technology being so easy to get, like high end technology, whereas before, like if you were in the 80s or the 90s, the only people that could afford this was movie studios, right? Now you can, put on your Camtasia, and if you're a little bit of a, if you know how Camtasia works and how editing works, you can easily do that. So, I just wanted to watch a few videos and see how it goes. Like I said, I'm a big fan of these. I will preface this that, people have asked me before, like, do I believe in the paranormal? And the answer to that is yes. But it's not necessarily what they show you on TV. My experience is yes, there's parallels with what you see on TV, but it's not only that. And I feel that a lot of it is for entertainment purposes. And it's there to scare you, right? And the way the videos are usually like presented to you, it's to make you scared. But no, I've had experiences where no, I'm not. I wasn't. In fact, I actually felt a serenity, right? My grandmother's house used to be haunted. I'm convinced of that, and I know that my grandmother, when you would ask her like, aren't you, like, she used to live alone, and she lived alone till she passed away at 99. And my dad used to pass by her house like every night, and on Sundays he would spend the whole day with her. Um, and he would also always ask like, "Aren't you scared to be in the house and stuff like that?" She's like, "No, I'm with your brother." Like, and basically she would name people that had passed away in the family. She's like, "Yeah, they have dinner with me every night, and so sits there, so and so sits there, so and so sits there, and we have a conversation and this and that." And there are times where there are things that were weird that happened. Um, Specifically when uh, certain people were in the house, noises. And if you guys want to hear more of that on my stories on my end, I can give you a ton. It's been quieter in the last 20 years or so. since my grandmother. Well, my grandmother passed away about 30 years ago. 28 years now at this point. And they sold the house right after. My house per se, which is the same house that I've always lived in, it's been um, um, what else? And there's different types of like ghosts per se, right? And a lot of people, there's the one that explains it the best. I'm not saying that their show is always 100% like, real, but the way they explain it is probably the best. Is probably Ghost Adventures. Whereas there's ghosts where you can communicate with them, and so on and so forth. Basically, what you see on TV, and they give you an answer back. But there's others where the best way I can explain it is that it's a rift in time and space. So something happens that was so emotionally charged that it leaves a rip in space. So that's when they call it residual ghosts, I guess. And basically what that does is periodically, if you pass like in a certain area of, let's say, your house, and it always smells like a certain perfume at periods of time during the year, or there's always something that happens in the same area, chances are it's not a ghost. It's just a time you're passing through, like a time and space where there was a rift. Something and then there's other times where, yeah, I guess it's ghosts, real ghosts, I guess. But it seems that the TV always goes with like the ghosts are evil and it's the devil and this and that. Yeah, I don't believe that. I think that's more of a minority than a majority. I think the majority of ghosts are like Casper, which not a lot of people would actually believe in that, but hey. All right, let's see what we have here. Let's play a random video from Slapped Ham, which I have not. That one I've seen. This is scary as shit. This guy's been doing this for quite a while. I'm assuming there's a team behind it, but also, one thing I started looking at as well is people that capture teleportation on film, and I'm always like, yeah, don't know. I feel iffy. This weird footage will make your skin crawl. Yeah, whatever. Let's do this. And I'm going to comment through all of these.
How you doing? I'm Callan and this is Slapped Ham. Today we're looking at some scary videos no one can quite explain. So hit that subscribe button and get ready for more mysterious videos just like this.
Slapped Ham. I love the name of it, just the name alone.
TikTok user Cody Aaron 725 works in an office that he
I think I've
believes
seen
is
this one
haunted
already.
by a demonic
That's
presence. For months, he's been experiencing strange activity like disembodied screaming, things moving for no reason at all. He's even spotted strange anomalies on their security camera system. In this first clip, Cody's working late in the office, all alone. He's filming a small vlog for his TikTok account showing certain areas of the building that normally experience bizarre activity.
Okay, you guys, so this is the door that moves on its own, and that's the chair that moves on its own.
He explains that he's tired and that not much is happening.
And I'm just tired, there's absolutely nothing here this time.
If we watch that again, although Cody thinks nothing particularly paranormal is happening, there's something chilling in the background.
And I'm just tired, you know. There's
Yeah, that's
absolutely
edited, man.
nothing
I'm sorry.
here this time.
That's not.
There's a
It's
face
too
of a woman just
Hollywood.
over his shoulder.
Yeah, no. I don't believe
Later
that.
in the clip, even more activity is captured.
Tomorrow maybe, and we'll see what. Okay, so I'm the only one here right now, and the door just closed on its own.
Was it that one? Was it that one? Because it looked like it was closed already.
In this second clip, Cody explains that he's alone in the office again, and he shows us a series of security camera feeds around the premises.
Okay, so I'm here by myself. All of these green lights means that there's no motion, right?
He explains that when the dot is green, it means that no motion is detected. Yet in one of the rooms, there appears to be something eerie lurking.
What in the world is that? That is insane.
That does look weird.
I have never seen something like this.
There's some kind of strange shadow moving in one of the rooms, but for some reason the security system isn't detecting movement.
Yeah, but is it an area
See that?
where it
It
would
just
trigger
scared-
that?
What in the world? I'm going over. I have to see what this is. See,
And I'll be honest, like the guy is way too
here is
calm.
motion detection
For somebody that's
me
having like
in this room. There I am on the
an
screen.
experience with a ghost.
There's no motion detect. Look, it's moving, and there's no motion detection right there. That is nuts. Look at that.
Eventually, curiosity gets the better of him and he goes to investigate in person. Watch what happens.
Let's do it. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna need Eric's help for this. I'm not gonna do this by myself.
Well, yeah.
I promised him that I would do this, but
Watching that again, something seems to scream the word leave.
Yeah, that looks.
okay.
That
Yeah,
sounds
I'm gonna
manipulative.
need Eric's help for this.
Sounds like a voice
I'm not
box.
gonna do this by myself. I promised him that I would do this, but there's gonna have to be more people here besides me.
Most people in the comments were freaked out by this series of events. Some said that Cody should burn some sage and get in contact with a priest. So what exactly
Or
is
it was
going on in
faked.
this office? Could it really be haunted?
I mean-
At this stage, Cody believes he's dealing with a demonic force. This is an evolving situation as Cody is constantly putting out new videos. It's well worth a look. As always, there's links in the description box below.
That I've experienced before. Go ahead, it's the same guy.
This is a freaky little clip uploaded to Facebook by Zona del Terra. It shows someone filming a fire right next to a parked car. At first the fire is weird enough, but things quickly turn a whole lot worse. Watch. As you can see, some kind of figure emerges from the flames.
A lot of
They
these
don't seem
videos,
to
it's
be
hard to
harmed by
actually
the
know
fire
until
at
you're
all as they
actually there
walk behind the
experiencing
car and out
it.
of sight.
Anything that's on a camcorder now.
Unfortunately, that's all there is to this bizarre clip. We have no further info and we don't know why the person was filming the fire in the first place. Some people thought perhaps it's an optical illusion and that someone was walking behind the fire, but the bright flames make it look like they're actually inside of it.
Well, number one, it's a kid. If it's walking, it
So
does.
what do you
It
think's
does.
going
It does
on
walk.
here? Is
Walk
it an optical
weirdly.
illusion? Or is this genuinely some kind of strange figure that's able to walk through fire? Love to hear your take on this.
And
in
a
the
lot of
comment
times, like,
section
why
down
are people
below.
filming? Like, it's weird. Like, okay, like, why wouldn't you do anything? Like, call 911. Why are you filming?
This unsettling footage was uploaded to TikTok by user DelisJ. We can see a funeral underway as several mourners gather around a coffin. A man in a mask is saying a few words, however keep an eye on the lid of the coffin. Watching that again, what looks to be a bunch of string gets pulled into the coffin.
Yeah, it does look weird.
No one seems to notice it except for the young
String
child
or
who
hair?
reaches out just as it whips inside the lid of the coffin. So what's going on here? Is there really someone buried alive?
I
A
highly
few
doubt it.
keen-eyed viewers suggested that the video is in reverse, which is a plausible theory. But if it is in reverse, then this poses a more troubling question. Maybe that's not string at all. Maybe the kid is pulling at hair. Either scenario is troubling in its own right, and it seems the more you watch this clip, the more freaky it becomes. We did a segment on Diego Spickers just a few weeks ago. Diego's an artist on Instagram and TikTok that seems to be experiencing an intense haunting inside his apartment. For months now, he's been documenting what he believes to be the spirit of a young girl that seems trapped inside his home. Last time we showed this chilling clip.
Sale de aquí para nada, weón. Es re lindo, tiene ventanita y todo, pille.
Well, now even more haunting events have been unfolding. In this clip, we once again see the child's playhouse, where more unsettling things keep happening. Watch.
Este es el último video que hago en este apartamento. Mañana me
Now, I will give him the benefit of the doubt that he actually ran towards the actual action and then run out. But at the same time, I'm always skeptical when they say it's a TikToker that's an artist. I don't know. I feel like they often want to get some views. Now, at face value, does this look like you can explain it? No. But that could have easily been string too. You know, like, it's, even though it's really, 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 really well done, it's still like, I'm always skeptical about that particular part.
Watching that again, a ball rolls out of the playhouse.
For somebody that, for me, that I actually believe in the paranormal, it's hard for me to believe a lot of the videos that are out there. Unless it's something that I've experienced before and I know that it can happen, that it's plausible, then in that case, yeah. But in this case, no, I can't.
There's no one in there. Then, as the camera pans past the window, we can see what looks like someone standing under a blanket right next to Diego. In another clip, Diego's concerned about the playhouse and films it once
Why do you
again.
keep it?
Take a
I
look
mean,
at
if
what
it's haunted to
happens.
that point, why do you keep it?
Porque me dijeron que así sería más fácil ponerme en
And I love how
contacto
the
con ella
playhouse is
y
like
saber
more
qué
and
es lo
more.
que quiere.
As you can see, there's clearly no one in the playhouse, yet a hand appears out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Así sería más fácil ponerme en contacto con ella y saber qué es lo que quiere.
Things escalate even further in this next clip. After hearing some noises coming from a cupboard, Diego grabs his phone to capture what's happening.
Yeah, that's weird. So if you're gonna open the thing right away, open it. Don't open it slowly, see a face, close it, and then reopen it fast. It looks like it's a trick of the, anyways. It looks
Slowing that-
weird. I don't believe it. What's next?
TikTok user Alexander the Titan has been documenting some very weird and unusual things that have been happening around his house. He says that he used to think his old apartment was haunted, but when he moved into his current place, the activity seemed to follow him. At first, it seemed like poltergeist activity as his home security system captured some bizarre movements in his kitchen. Watch. Then, one morning, Alex found the front door to his apartment completely open, so he checked the footage from the night before. This is Alex apparently sleepwalking, and he has no memory of it happening at all. As you can see, as he passes the camera, one of the bottles on the ground seems to move for no reason at all. You can also hear Alex off camera mumbling gibberish. He then opens the door and leaves the house. Listen to what happens.
Somebody closes the door on him.
In this final clip, Alex is with a friend. They've heard some strange noises upstairs and have decided to investigate. Take a look. Did you notice what happened? This one's subtle, but once you notice it, it's super unsettling. We can clearly see Alex's friend standing in the doorway. However, in the reflection of the window, you can make out what looks like a mannequin. But when the camera swings back, his friend is still standing there. Eerier still, if you slow it down, the mannequin appears on the left as the camera pans past. Some commenters have suggested that Alex...
Yeah, okay. I don't really... Yeah, this one over here, the one with the royals... that everybody is freaked out, those are lookalikes. It happens all the time. Just that one's really fucking horrible. Like, I mean, seriously. It's the one that's of Marco looks freaking horrible, but it's because it's either it's a robot or it's a mask with somebody that has really bad mannerisms. That doesn't reflect anything that's Marco. And even Harry doesn't look like himself. It's a lookalike. So I'm convinced that's what it is. But everybody seems to be freaked out. And it's like, okay, seriously? Actually, let me look at search teleportation. 20 teleportations and time travelers caught on tape. Let's see. Apex TV. Number 20. Yeah, you know what I feel, looks weird about that one is The guy that's in the truck must have heard. You fucking can't not hear a motorcycle behind you. And doesn't react. I don't know. It looks weird. It looks like it's funky, but I mean, yeah, this one I saw. It's kind of weird. Like that guy materialized, but the way, and it's weird. Every time somebody materializes like that, it always seems like it's during a swerve or something along those lines. Because the guy didn't swerve because of the guy on the road. The guy on the road appeared after he was swerving. So, yeah. Okay. First of all, it's super fuzzy, and number two, I'm pretty sure it's a student movie. I mean, I'm not saying teleportation doesn't technically exist, although on paper, scientifically, I think it was done on an atom level. They were able to take an atom and put it to the other, but something happened. So even at the atom, like even the atom changed according to whatever they did to do this. I think it was in Japan. I think. So yeah, it's weird. It's I don't know. Some people say it's they've called it a break in the matrix because we live in a simulation. Simulation has bugs, right? It's a computer program. Computer programs are run buggy, especially if they run all the time, right? So, yeah. Give me a second. Okay. That's weird. Okay, that was really weird. All right. Let's do this. It's an optical illusion. Yeah, which is the easy explanation, which is a cop-out. Like the fact that his hands light up, that could be a light in the palm. You don't see the actual palm of his hands, so it could just be lights in the middle of his hand that he sticks, and it looks like he has superpowers. He starts running, and then when he disappears, and he runs and he disappears, it could be the optical illusion where it looks like it's going to be hitting him, but he's actually, he's actually running away, right? So he's actually like, okay. But then again, I guess they're saying that if that would be the case, you would see him after the bus passes or the vehicle passes, which is true unless he decided to take a left turn at Albuquerque. Like, that's the thing. Like, there's a lot of things that could be explained. In the right context, you can actually mimic this. Doesn't mean that it didn't happen. It just means that, because there'd have been more people that would have freaked out. There'd have been more people following him. That's why I'm skeptical. Oh, I've seen this one. Apparently, this is a CCTV, but there's no timestamp. And the thing is, too, I always wondered, like, why that doesn't happen more often with crashes. Because if, let's say in this case, they saved the guy, right? He was about to crash in a car and you saved him. Why? Why him? Why him over other people that have crashes, right? So it's weird. It's like kind of, there's questions that arise. So if when you ask those questions, you kind of don't necessarily, because the thing is, like this, that could be a Hollywood thing, right? You can actually special effects and whatever. Now, the fact that the guy got out of his car, that you didn't see it in this clip, but the longer clip, you see the guy get out of his truck and because he's stunned. I don't know. I'd like to see like the original footage, personally.
Let me first start out by saying that most of you are not going to believe what I'm about to say. That's fine. I'm not trying to convince everyone that what I'm saying is true. I'm simply trying to speak to those of you who will listen. Now, you've probably seen those old photos of people supposedly talking on modern-day cell phones. Some have claimed this to be proof of time travel. It's not. These devices are actually hearing aid instruments. With that being said, time travel is soon going to exist. You may live to see it. I was born 3 years before the first time machines began being tested. They started out dangerous and unreliable, only used by the government. Eventually, independent hackers figured out how to build them. I have been recruited by an independent agency to spread the message that our world is a fragile one. Your children and your grandchildren will not have the same amount of resources that you do. The Mars colonization program was only semi-successful, as few people want or have enough money to move there. The world I was born in has become extremely overpopulated. I was born in 2026.
He was born in 2026, which is 4 years from now. And he said that 3 years after that, time travel would be starting to be tested. So he looks like he's in his 30s, so he's probably technically from, I don't know, 2045, 2055. And to say that the world is overpopulated is not really a stretch of the imagination. We all know that's going to happen. The amount of people having kids across the world, regardless of where the people are, except for Quebec, apparently. Quebec actually has a low birth rate. Even Canada, I think, compared to other countries. And to say that the world is a fragile one, I'm in 2022 and I know that happens. Like, it's fragile. You know it's fragile. Either through the pandemic, through the war in Ukraine, through any war, anything that happens. So humans as a population, as a race, is fragile. I mean, so there's nothing that he said was kind of out of like a stretch, except for the fact that he's a time traveler, which he basically said every technology that ever existed on the earth, right? So a lot of new technologies are usually used by the military first, and then the population benefits from it in most cases. So it wouldn't be a stretch to say that. I mean, it is what it is, but I'm gonna turn on this light. Turn off the other light. Off. Oh, I can't do that. Give me a second. Off. Thank you. All right. So yeah, that's that. So yeah, yeah. Now there's nothing that he says. I mean, like the thing is, like you can't 100% debunk that. To be fair, like you can't just say, well, yeah, what he's saying is bullshit. It's not really. It's not that it's bullshit. It's just that it's what he said is not a stretch of the imagination. I mean, it's anybody. Anybody could have gone on camera and said that. It's very generic. And a lot of these like time traveler thingies, guys that claim that they're time travelers and they're from the future and they're from the CIA and whatever, they never give any details. And the reason for that is they always say, well, they can't alter the past, and a bit like, Back to the Future or whatever. Like if you do something, you alter the past and the future will change. I get that. It makes sense. But at the same time, it's like people, I've seen a couple of videos where people were like, here's a picture from the future and it's all blurred. Oh, because time travel blurs out pictures. All right. Well, then why if you know that's the case, then why would you bring a picture as proof? Like it doesn't make sense. It's like saying to me like, okay, I'm going to bring something back from the future, right? Which is like I don't know, it looks like a tin can that freaking, I don't know, that can interrupt hackers on computers or cut the internet or whatever it is. Something stupid. And then you get it back here and all it's a can. Well, okay, well, it didn't do anything. Right? So it's just a can. That's what it is. Like, so that's why I laugh at some of these videos. It's fucking hilarious. Well, that was my thought on that. Yeah, this one is pretty intense, but I think it's an optical illusion. It's the guy that comes out of nowhere there. And often a lot of these captured images of like time travel or stuff like similar like this. There's another one where I'm sure it's in this list where it's a woman standing, somebody passes in front of her and she disappears. It's always at eye level and it's always in a way that could potentially happen. Now, I do agree in this particular case, you never see that particular car, but I don't know. Like, there's two cars that turn here, right? There's a black one that's right there. And there's one that turns right in front. And now the car actually stops. But it is true. I can't explain it. It's a ghost car. All right. A lot of people online have a lot of like weird theories. Yeah, it's a ghost car. Okay, fine. Shows an alleged instance in which a man was caught time traveling. Yeah, okay, this is a student film. Yeah, no. That is not real. Sorry, bud. Sorry. But not sorry, you know what I mean? Okay, this is a CCTV, apparently CCTV footage. Okay? I have never seen CCTV footage that low. The camera usually is up high, monitoring the highway, looking at traffic going and going. This is at eye level. And it's a like this. No, sorry. Whoever believes that is very freaking gullible. Yeah, so does what's it called? Back to the Future. Well, yeah, it is tricky editing. Just the fact that it says a CCTV security camera, it makes no sense. CCTV cameras are not like that. They're not placed like this. This is a camera filming. Okay, you don't have to show it 10 times. We see it. It's also a bad editing job too. So where there's the light, he actually passes it. No, it does not. Okay, I don't have to see it again. Come on, next. I think I've seen this. Yeah. Look at the evidence. Okay. Thinking it was a leak, he grabbed it. Well, he said I had to crawl inside a cabin, and as I did so, I discovered that I had just continued. So I kept on crawling further and further and further into the cabinet. In the end of the tunnel, I saw a light, and when I got there, I realized I was in the future. Nordquist claimed that it traveled to the year 2042. Okay, so matching tattoos is not evidence. Sorry. And lookalikes exist all over the place. So all you have to do is find someone that resembles kind of what you look like. Maybe add a few pounds. Make it look like you're fat. Makes it harder to identify, really make a one-to-one match. Makes it more realistic. And in this year, like 2006, like you had like cameras on phones. He could have taken a picture. If it's true what he said, that he crawled into a hole and he ended up in the future. Yeah, but this doesn't show anything. It doesn't show any proof. You just literally took a video of somebody that resembles you. I don't know. Maybe a birthmark would have been more realistic. And also, it's in generic America or generic whatever. Like, you can't place where they are. Conveniently enough. Also, you know what's amazing about that tattoo? Let me stop it. Come on, come on, come on, come on. You usually tattoos, especially the fact that apparently he's 72, that tattoo would be stretched, which I guess it could be the angle. You can say, yeah, it's a bit stretched, but it doesn't look faded. So if the guy got it, if they got it at the same time, you would assume they got it at the same time, right? One would be fresher than the other, and they both look that they got it done at the same time. At least from the video. It's not the best quality video either. Yeah, you wouldn't ask more questions, really? Yeah. Sorry, bud. Unless, and it's possible it's because I'm not in his shoes, and I know. I'll say that he had a dream. If he said he had a dream and that happened, I could kind of believe that a little bit more than him actually time traveling. See? Look at that. Okay. So right off the bat, this is a CCTV camera. This is where CCTV cameras are. They're not at eye level usually. Right? So this isn't, at least for now, it's a plausible thing that it's at eye level. Camera. Melbourne, Australia. It claims to show a strange occurrence on the security camera. Okay. A mysterious bird is seen disappearing in plain sight. Many theories have emerged attempting to explain what the video depicts. It depicts that it's very pixelated. With some, and you know what's the worst part too? I get it, the way it looks like it disappears, but it's not a continuous. CCTV cameras take, it's like it's not a full video, right? It kind of takes mini pictures every so often. So it's like every frame per second. It's like 10 frames per second or whatever it is. So something could have happened. So, you know, anyways, it looks strange. I won't say that it doesn't look strange, but there is a potential explanation for it. Again, I'm not saying that these things didn't actually happen. Very possible that it did. I'm just saying that there's explanations on why it didn't happen. Number 11. A drone in rural U.S. That is the most stable drone ever. Some propose the event could be evidence of teleportation or time travel, of course, because it's the web. And the web, everybody believes everything they see. Okay, which is a consumer drone that shoots up to 4K video. Okay. I do agree, it does look a little bit weird. But see, there's a thing right there. There was a glitch right at one point, right there. There's a little bit of a glitch at some point, which looks like it. See there, it looked like it was edited. So yeah, this is a painting made in 1670 by Pierre de Ouche. Okay. In the painting, the person on the left is holding what looks like an iPhone. Oh, are you fucking kidding me? No, it's not an iPhone. It's a tablet of some kind of back then. This supposed iPhone was spotted by him. Cook now says he is rethinking the possibility of time travel. No. Whatever. He's gonna say whatever he wants. He can't to sell more iPhones. Cook doesn't believe when he saw that the man in the painting was holding what looked like an iPhone. Yeah, but that could be anything. It could have been like a... No, it could have been a stone something. It could have been... There's another painting too that has that as well. And the way she's holding it too, it's weird. It looks like she's pointing on it, but technically from how her hand is, it should be the thumb. So yeah, anyways, no. It is not an iPhone. People have vivid imaginations. I will have to give them that. Now this car has disappeared. That is a clear CCTV. Oh. I did, but I missed it. Yeah, that's manipulated. Sorry. It looks like it flashes right before. Yeah. Like, no, that flash. The flash means it disappeared, but it looks like it looks weird the way. Yeah. Again. No. CCTVs are not on ground level. Like, this TV is completely useless. Because number one, it's only checking one side of the road, and it's a very small side of the road. So, it makes no sense. Man. Anything to get views, huh? It's the exact same thing as the other guy, too. This one is better done, though, than the other one. The other one, it looks like he actually passes the light a bit. This one looks like it's better edited. And I love how, like, teleportation apparently always looks the same. Like, everybody has an idea of what teleportation is. And, yeah.
Welcome to Apex TV. Today, we take a look at an ancient Greek sculpture of unknown authorship. It is believed that this sculpture was made at around 100 BC, and it currently resides in a museum in Malibu, California. What makes this sculpture unique is the fact that it appears to display something astonishing. It depicts a mysterious object that bears striking resemblance to a modern laptop. Now, we can see in this photo of the object that it is quite wide. However, it is not wide enough to be a jewel box. This is not to say that laptops existed in 100 BC. However, it could be indicative of something even more strange.
I don't think so.
Conspiracy theorists have claimed that this sculpture may be proof of time travel. What do you think? Does this ancient Greek sculpture show a real laptop? Be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments below.
I have my doubts. I get it. Visually, it does look like it, but... It shows a plane taking off and then disappearing. Yeah, but did anybody report that being missing? You know what, I have a feeling? This is footage. First of all, again, CCTV footage, that's weird. I have a feeling that it took off, it went through the clouds, because it is a cloudy day. Went through the clouds. The minute it started going through the clouds, it did the flashing light, and it looked like it disappeared. So somebody edited it. Again, Like, because this would have been in the news, right? It would have been, where are the passengers? Where did they go? Where they disappeared? Or somebody from that somebody from that flight would have been would have came out and said, yeah, this happened to me. So, and if they say, oh, they disappeared and they never came back, then somebody on there must have had family members that would have been like, what happened to the plane? Where did it go? It's yeah, I don't know. I feels like these peoples are kind of like, you know, being a little bit stupid, you know. What actually occurs? It went in the fucking clouds. It literally went in the clouds. Such as, where did the plane and all the passengers go? Exactly. If they went anywhere or they disappeared, somebody would have claimed. It makes no sense. It makes zero sense. That is definitely doctored. Look at that. They literally put it exactly where he disappears where they disappear in the clouds. It's a cloud thing. Another CCTV that's weirdly put. Well, at least a lot of CCTV footage we've been seeing it. No, I didn't see it actually. You literally see it fade. No. No, it's not. Sorry, bud. Sorry, bud. But no. Like, nobody in the road like realizes and stops and says, what the fuck? No, they just continue straight. Like, there's no one that stops. You can point it 1,000 times, it makes no difference. We've seen it before. Is this the end of it? No, it's not. Number 4. This is, yeah, a dog that appears everywhere. From nowhere. Again, pretty fuzzy. I have a feeling that it's a dog that jumped over whatever that fence was. Just that it's so pixelated it didn't show up. Yeah, it looks weird. The effect looks pretty cool, but it's not really. This one is a little bit freaky. I have to admit. This one is creepy. Because there's two things. There's the fact that the guy is standing, and the way the guy comes out looks like he's turning from his, turning to his left, right? So he would be coming from the sidewalk, which technically makes no sense. Also, but the thing is he could have been behind the guy this whole time, and he just started off with his foot because he looks off balance a bit, and then he continues off. So it could be an optical illusion. Or it could have been doctored too. That's always an option. But that one, I have to admit, was a little bit weird. By a man that was claiming to have captured. Claimed to have captured a strange occurrence on a CCTV security camera. Okay. The clip first shows a cat walking around. And then he disappears, or a dog appears. then eventually disappears into thin air. Yeah, that's just an effect. It's a disappearing effect. It's an editing thing. Obviously, I didn't analyze the video, but it looks like it's the same thing as the car. It's too clean for it to be like a... You don't just vanish like that. Like, it doesn't make sense. See, at full speed, it looks cool, but when you slow it down, it's kind of like, yeah, no. So far in all of these, there's maybe one or two that I'm like, yeah, okay, that looked pretty cool, and I can't explain it. The rest, there's always some kind of explanation to them. Which comes to my point, about 90%, 95% of them are all fake. Because there's so many people that want eyeballs on their channels, or they want to have, like, popularity. Especially with TikTok and with Instagram stories and stuff. There's too many... I mustn't check each of them every day. This is the strangest thing that they ever caught. Yeah, of course. Now, it's true, like, there's context where, you know, the person doesn't necessarily have, you know, he's not into it. Like, he doesn't post things like this usually, and this is like an outlier. But this video was recorded by a CCTV security camera in an alley at an unknown location. Okay. Video man is seen walking through a wall of a store. There have been many theories as to exactly the video shows. Yeah, I get it that the date stays the same except for the year, but... Like, the homeless guy doesn't seem... He does actually react to it when he comes out, though. But yeah, this is fake. Is this over? Yeah, it's done. Alright, well that was that. Let's look at Beyond Silence. 5 real cases.
Hi, it's Mike Chen. Teleportation, the ability to travel over vast distances within the blink of an eye, has captured mankind's imagination for centuries. The concept of teleporting from one place to another is familiar to anyone who reads or watches science fictions such as Star Trek, where both people and objects can instantaneously be beamed up to a starship or beamed down on an uncharted planet. The very idea of teleportation has an irresistible allure, and humanity's interest on the subject matter has gone beyond the boundaries of fiction and is being seriously pursued by science in recent years as a real topic of exploration and study. Making teleportation a possibility in the real world is an amazing feat that can only be achieved through means beyond our current understanding. However, there are many bizarre cases and mind-bending stories that suggest that not only is human teleportation possible, it has in fact already occurred and has been occurring for many years. Stories of people mysteriously teleporting to distant places go very far back into history and continue even in modern times. The nature of these alleged teleportation cases involves interdimensional portals, enigmatic doorways that provide access to the fabric of reality itself.
The theory looks pretty cool.
Of physics as we currently
the idea is that it could potentially
exist,
exist, but
force that is beyond our comprehension. There are, like I mentioned,
we're not
many
there yet.
reported cases of alleged real-life teleportation that
and
took
the worst
place
part,
in
and the thing is, a lot of the teleportation videos that you see a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them, it's what we perceive as being teleportation. So like Star Trek, a flash of light, or disappearing slowly, which is like the other one. Those are the two top ones. I've never seen a teleportation that's slightly different. There's the one where the truck that we saw earlier, which I said that it was probably part of a student movie, that looked original in a way because it looked Matrix-y. But other than that,
history, but for now, here are 5 of them. We'll start off with number 5, Gil Perez, the teleportation man. The story of Gil Perez dates back to the 16th century, when he was serving as a Spanish soldier and palace guard of the governor's palace in Manila. He was just a regular soldier until the morning of October 24th, 1593, when something really strange happened. Tired due to lack of sleep and the warm weather, Perez decided to take a short nap and leaned against the palace wall. When he opened his eyes, he was stunned to find himself in an unknown location. When it was explained to him that he was in Mexico City, he refused to believe that it was true, knowing that it was impossible for him to be in Mexico City on the evening of October 24th, when he had received his orders in Manila on the morning of October the 23rd. Perez was questioned extensively by the Holy Tribunal of the Inquisition, and he told authorities that he had traveled from Manila to Mexico, quote, in less time than it takes a cock to crow. He revealed that he knew he was no longer in Manila, and that the night before, he also knew for a fact that Governor General of the Philippines had been assassinated. However, the members of the Spanish Inquisition did not believe his story, of course, and had him imprisoned for desertion. For 2 months, Perez was locked up in a jail in Mexico City until a Manila merchant ship arrived from the Philippines. The crew shared the news about the governor's assassination just as Perez had described it a couple of months earlier. Even stranger, one of the passengers on the ship recognized Perez and swore that he had seen the soldier in the Philippines marching at the palace garrison on October 23rd. And so the Holy Tribunal of the Inquisition in Mexico had no other choice but to accept Perez's story, release him from jail, and send him back to the Philippines, this time on a ship, no portals. Number 4, the bilocation of the Mary Jesus of Agreda. The Venerable Mary Jesus of Agreda was a Franciscan abbess and spiritual writer who was known especially for her extensive correspondence with King Philip IV of Spain and reports of her bilocation between Spain and its colonies in New Spain, which is now known as New Mexico and Texas. Although she was never known to have left her Spanish convent, it has been officially determined that between 1620 and 1631, she made over 500 trips to convert the Humano Indians of New Mexico as members of the Roman Catholic Church. Initially, the Catholic Church treated Mary Jesus of Agreda as delusional and heavily discredited claims of her teleportation. However, the missionaries in the New World and the Indians themselves supported these fantastical claims. For example, in 1622, a New World missionary named Father Alonso de Benavides wrote a letter to Pope Urban VIII and Philip IV of Spain that someone was already actively converting the Humano Indians long before he had arrived in the area. When the Indians were asked where they have learned about Christianity, they claimed that it was shown to them by a European lady in blue, and that this mysterious woman had provided them with crucifixes and a chalice that seemed to have come from the convent of Mary Jesus at Agreda. Number 3, the teleportation power of Carlos Mirabelli. Carlos Mirabelli was a Brazilian physical medium and spiritualist from Sao Paulo, Brazil. He was quite well known for his ability to perform various seemingly supernatural feats, such as levitation and telekinesis, but the most impressive ability he possessed was arguably his spontaneous teleportation. In 1926, Mirabelli was about to board a train traveling from Sao Paulo to the port of Santos with some friends when one of his companions saw Mirabelli walk towards the platform and vanish into thin air. In the middle of the day and in front of dozens of witnesses, he faded in a foggy haze as if he were slowly getting erased from existence. Mirabelli's friends were surprised at his sudden spontaneous vanishing, but things got even stranger when a station master approached them 15 minutes later, telling them that they had a call from Mirabelli himself. When his friends spoke to him on the phone, he claimed that he was suddenly in the town of São Vicente, which was 56 miles away from the train's destination. He also claimed that he practically instantaneously transported there, having realized after his supposed materialization that only 2 minutes had passed from when he disappeared at the train station in Sao Paulo. Number 2, the sudden disappearance of the Vitos. A well-known and controversial case of human teleportation supposedly took place in 1968, when a Dr. Geraldo Vidal and his wife Rafael de Vito allegedly teleported a large distance along with their entire car. In May of 1968, the couple was reportedly driving their vehicle along a remote rural road in Chas Comas, a province of Buenos Aires in Argentina, when they were suddenly enveloped by a thick fog. The Vitos allegedly failed to make it to their destination on time, and family members and authorities went on a search for the couple in the road they had taken, but no trace of them was found. 48 hours later, Geraldo Vidal called the family to inform them that he and his wife were safe, but for some reason unknown to them, they were in, again, Mexico City, which was 64 kilometers away from where they were driving in Argentina. Geraldo Vidal would later claim that they had no recollection of what occurred in the last 48 hours that they had disappeared without a trace. All they knew was that they encountered a strange heavy fog before everything turned black. When they came to, they found themselves parked along an unfamiliar road and felt pain in their necks. When they walked out of the car, the vehicle looked like it had been burned, as if it was badly damaged by a blowtorch. This story is not only a case of real-life teleportation, but is also one of the most talked about cases within the realm of UFOs. And finally, number 1, the doorways discovered by Al Kaisek. And one such case is the claims made by Al Kaisek about his alleged discovery of doorways to distant places. In 1971, Al Kaisek claimed that he had uncovered several doorways or vortexes in the states of Missouri and Arkansas, which supposedly allowed for instantaneous teleportation from one place to another by traveling through other dimensions. According to Kaisek, each door is different. One could walk through these doorways and instantaneously find themselves several miles away from where they had entered. There are even doorways that supposedly lead to distant stars. So in conclusion, let me ask you guys, what do you make of these alleged cases of real-life teleportation? Do you think these stories can
The
be...
last one could be explained like, because technically what teleportation is, it's a wormhole, right? And a wormhole is basically in space. So it would make sense by that theory that if you can teleport from one end to the other of the in a world on a planet, it would simulate what a wormhole is essentially. That technically makes sense. But I mean, these doorways, where are they? Right? There should be a way of knowing, like a wormhole. I'm assuming there's a way of detecting them. So yeah, it's weird. Teleportation glitch in the Matrix. Let's see what happens.
Today, we're going to be doing a twin teleportation picture prank involving this guy up there.
Okay, that's a prank. Oh, I didn't read it was a prank.
10 mysterious photos that still can't be explained. Every picture has a story. While some of these stories are only interesting to your friends or family, some images gave birth to endless discussions and made history. They were taken by ordinary people and certainly weren't edited. Right Side collected 10 historical photos that look like fantastic movie shots. Prepare to be amazed, and you will see evidence of time travel, ghost photos, and pyramids on the moon. Mwah. Number 1. A monster off the coast of Hook Island. Do you believe monsters, like the famous Scottish Nessie, are real? Or do you prefer to think they only live in our imagination? In any case, it looks like one of them was caught on camera in Australia years ago. Many people on the internet believe this picture was photoshopped. However, it was taken long before Photoshop was created. In 1965, the photographer Robert Lasera noticed a suspicious object near Hook Island in Australia. He immediately took a photo of the monster, which is still the subject of zoologist discussions. Number 2. Hessdalen Valley Lights. This shot was taken by a Norwegian photographer.
If more recent videos and pictures can easily be doctored, whereas older pictures, it's more difficult to do so.
photographer
So
with a
you have a tendency
30-second
of believing them a
exposure.
little bit more.
It isn't the
But I have
only
a feeling
evidence
the
of
last
the
picture
existence
was an
of
optical illusion. It looks like it looks like one big eel, but I'm convinced that it's just an optical illusion.
strange luminous objects flying over the Hessdalen Valley in central Norway. People living in the valley first noticed and reported these strange lights in 1981. Spectral analysis shows that this object consists of silicon, iron, and scandium. Scientists still have many questions about it. What are these lights? Are they dangerous to humans? Can they become a new energy source? Let's see if we can get these questions answered since observations of the lights continue. Number 3. Black Knight. This unidentified object was first captured by an artificial satellite in 1960. NASA specialists immediately named it Black Knight. Since then, the mysterious object keeps appearing and disappearing from the Earth's orbit. There is a whole satellite conspiracy theory about it. It says the aliens are spying on us using this aircraft. Scientists say this is a fragment of artificial origin. Well, the alien version sounds pretty cool, doesn't it? Number 4. Babushka Lady.
Yeah, that's
Really? On November 22, 1963, the American President John Kennedy was shot dead in Dallas. There are still many unanswered questions connected with this assassination. One of them has to do with a mysterious woman holding a camera in one hand. She was caught on camera by some photographers. The woman was wearing a headscarf in an old Russian lady's manner, so she was nicknamed Babushka Lady. Special services were trying to find her for a long time, since she may have captured the president's assassination on camera. However, all attempts to establish her identity were unsuccessful. Who was she? Why did she choose to disappear from the public eye? We have no answers for
Maybe she
these.
didn't choose to disappear. Maybe she just did. Like she just like lived their life and you guys just never found her. I don't know.
Questions. So,
Because it's possible
off we
she's
go.
not from the area and
Number 5. The Falling Man. This shot was taken by photographer Richard Drew on the day of the
Yeah.
terrorist attack on September 11th. The photo of the falling man went viral and made it to many news sources worldwide in a matter of hours. The body position of the man in the picture was considered strange by many people, since he was falling almost straightened up, which is extremely difficult to do. The identity of the man in the photo is still a mystery, although many Americans claim they recognize their relative in this picture. The picture became very popular, and the Discovery Channel even filmed a documentary about it in 2007.
I guess it was a slow news day.
Number 6. Tank Man. Every war
Yeah,
has
that
its
one's
unknown heroes,
impressive.
and so does every riot. This photo was taken in Beijing during the riots of 1989. In Tiananmen Square, an unknown young man held up the columns of tanks for a half an hour, blocking the way with his body. It's still a mystery who that man was or what happened to him after. Some people believe he was executed a few days later for taking part in the protest. Some sources say he's still alive. In fact, he may not have been the only protester standing in Tank's way that day. But this very picture became the symbol of Tiananmen Square events and one of the most famous photographs of the 20th century.
Pretty brave, if you ask me.
Number 7. A cell phone in Chaplin's movie.
It's
We
not
all
a
love
cell
some
phone.
good old
Get
black and white
over it.
movies, don't we? Especially when it comes to movies
It's a
with
hearing
Charlie
aid.
Chaplin in them. In
That
2010,
looks like a headset.
DVD with bonus frames from the filming of Charlie Chaplin's 1928 movie The Circus was released. One of the frames shows a woman holding something very similar to a modern cell phone. Director George Clark claimed he found these frames to be proof of time travel. Many skeptics are sure this shot is just a dull marketing hook. But wouldn't it be awesome if time travel existed?
Yeah, I know.
Number 8. Astronaut from Solway Firth.
Yeah, I remember this picture.
This picture might look like an average happy child in a summer field photo. If you give it a second chance, however, you will see why it made it to our selection of mysterious pictures. In 1964, Jim Templeton took a photo of his 5-year-old daughter in the countryside. Jim and his wife said they noticed something unusual in the air that day, something like an electric charge. A few days later, when the film was developed, it was clear there was something extraordinary about the shot. A figure of a man wearing a silver spacesuit is clearly seen in the background. It came as a huge surprise to the family, who denied the presence of that man or any other man in the field. Neither the police nor Kodak experts who were informed about the situation could solve the mystery of the picture of the spaceman who photobombed the Templetons.
Yeah, that one's weird. It's hard to explain. I have nothing to say to
Number
debunk
9.
it.
Sir Goddard's Squadron. There is one strange photograph in the photo album of Sir Goddard's
I've seen this
Squadron,
before.
who fought
This
in the
one's
First
freaky.
World War. If you look closely at the back row of soldiers, you'll see an extra face behind the fourth soldier on the left. It is the reason this picture became so incredibly popular and a
Well, I don't
topic
really
of
see
many
it here,
discussions.
but-
The
yeah.
person with a ghostly face is Freddie Jackson, who died 2 days before the picture was taken. Apparently, he decided to be in the group picture anyway, even though it was taken exactly on the day of his funeral. You can believe this story or be skeptical about, but there are people out there who do research on ghost photos and find it possible for a human spirit to be caught on camera.
Or it could be optical illusion.
And number 10,
You
pyramids
know, that-
on the moon.
There's a name for it. I forget
This
what the
picture
name
was
of it
taken-
is. It's like you look at something and it looks like a face, but it's just the way you perceive the object. It's not really a face.
During the mission Apollo 17. It was the last mission NASA sent to the moon in December 1972. Astronauts were actively taking pictures using Hasselblad cameras during the mission. Some of them were just good material for space exploration science, but one turned out to be unique. It might look like an average overexposed photo, and it was first listed as such in the archives. However, if you take a second closer look, you will find something amazing about it. You will see outlines of 2 triangular structures looking very much like the pyramids of Giza. What did these pyramids symbolize? Did the Egyptians
I
travel
don't
to
know,
the
man.
moon to build them? Do
It's
aliens?
a little too overexposed to actually say that if it's something or not. There's a guy at one point. There's a story of a guy that had $800 to his name, and he won like $350 million in stocks in like a couple of weeks. And they questioned him, and he's like, "Oh, I'm from the future." And they blamed him of inside trading, but yeah, apparently. All right. All right, let's look at something different. Let's look at gaming. So actually, from gaming perspective, there's a guy that I really like is what the fuck is his name? Why can't I remember his name right now? Man. Not ACG. It's not ACG. Let me go at home. Ghosts, conversation, new to you, Judd Apatow, television, lifestyle, gaming, not game ranks. Oh, Nick. Yeah, there we go. It's Nick. Nick 30. He does a really, really good job. He a lot of the times he does comparisons, but he's really good at doing documentaries that are really long. Like the history of Battlefield is fantastic. It's a little long. It's 4 hours long, but it's fantastic. The history of Halo I haven't watched yet. I don't know why I didn't get his. I keep not getting, like, there's people that have been releasing like videos for like a while, and I don't get notified of them. I don't see them, and then realize I missed like 4 or 5 videos of them. Yeah, this is the one that's the most recent one that I watched. He's known for direct comparison, so you'll take like 2 games side by side and compare visually how they look. He doesn't review in those particular videos. He doesn't review the game. He just looks at the visual fidelity of each one. So in this case, he evaluated how Halo Infinite looked at E3 2020 and the retail version, so what was sold to us, which is fantastic. Actually, it's really, really good. The Dying Light one is good as well. So yeah. Yeah. Let's look at one more. Teleportation shit. Top 10 glitches caught in real life, part 2.
Cars smashing into nothing, time travelers spotted in broad daylight, and the Pope himself glitching on live television. We have all of this on today's top 10 list. Coming in number 10, we have the invisible car crash. Now, there are tons of ways to explain real-life glitches. When you see someone lag on camera, that could have just been the recording. When you see a plane stalled in the sky, like we had on our last video, that could be explained through some clever editing. But I don't really know how you fake a car crash like the one I'm about to show you. Yeah, you guys just saw what I just saw, right? That was a car that was crashing into
So that could be like if somebody edited the fact that so normally somebody edits the thing actually doing the action. In this case, they remove, let's say, a brick. There was something in between. Again, this could be filmed outside of real life, but they could have edited out the centerpiece, and then it looks like, or the car that was there, and it looks like it. I'm just saying that, but it could be wrong.
There was a car that was zooming along the highway, and then it smacked into an invisible barrier. Now, this could have been some pole in the road that was angled so perfectly that the driver and the camera couldn't see it. Now, that is possible, but highly unlikely.
Not a crash like that. It's not a hole in the ground.
Small be strong enough to cause a moving car that's going about 60 kilometers an hour to stop in its tracks. Was there some sort of invisible force field there that was left?
Well, definitely
on by
something
accident?
happened.
Or could this just be someone spending hours editing something strange to put out as disinformation to make us all very confused? Either way, I would be pissed if I was the owner of that car. You don't do anything wrong, and then something invisible causes your car to be a write-off? Is that even covered under your insurance? Coming at number 9, we have sailing in the sky. If you have it in your mind that you will never reach the level of wealth to afford a sailboat, well, let me tell you that there's a whole other level of wealth that we have no idea about. There is a class of people who have been taking their boats to the skies. Aren't we all seeing that right? Now, I have no idea how reflections off the water will affect your camera and how it will pick that up, but that looks like someone got their boat to fly through the sky at a very reasonable pace. I mean, that boat is just cruising along, not too fast or slow. Sky sailing is a brand new thing, and this guy has already
I want to buy my ticket.
How on earth is that happening? Is there some new boat-shaped plane that we don't know about? I mean, that does sound like something that Elon Musk would make. Tesla has a car that looks like a tank, and now they have a plane that looks like a boat. Coming in number 8, we have teleporting, time traveling, or NPC. I would imagine that sometime in the future we will lock down teleportation. I don't know if time travel is on the table, but who knows? If we went back 100 years and got someone to eat Korean fried chicken, they might have an overdose from all the flavor. But if people are working on it, you would imagine it would take some time to work out all the kinks. In this next clip, we might be seeing the early stages of people glitching reality so they can teleport.
Yeah. The thing that's weird...
You see that massive truck had to swerve out of the way so that they didn't crash into that lady. Some random woman appeared out of nowhere, and it looks like she has a perfectly clean lab coat on. I mean, I don't know how...
And it's also the way she walks is weird.
How someone would end up walking around in the middle of the highway miles away from any town, but they usually don't dress like they came right out of the lab. She seems so calm even though she was almost hit by a truck. Usually when a 16-wheeler has to swerve out of the way...
Yeah, but she appeared after he passed, so the swerving wasn't...
But she's just strolling like she
That's
knew
what I
she
don't
was
understand.
going to be safe, or she's a poorly programmed NPC. Next on the list, we have Brady Fiegel squared. There are a lot of people in this world who say they have found their twin. I'm looking at you, David Diggs. If I get tagged in one more picture of you, I'm gonna have to chase you down and take a side-by-side picture so people know we're not the same person. But even though David Diggs and I kinda look the same, we have nowhere close to the same similarities as Brady Fiegel and Brady Fiegel.
Oh yeah,
For
that's
one,
the...
both
yeah.
these guys have the exact
That's actually
same
pretty
name.
pretty
On top
weird.
of that, they both play professional baseball. On top of that, they are both left-handed pitchers. This seems pretty rare, and you would expect this to be the point where
I don't know if they're going to get into it here, but it's actually pretty weird. So they kind of look a little bit different. Like they have the same beard and stuff like that, but they kind of look slightly different. But the thing that's really cool, or the thing that's really weird, is that they had a similar injury, and I think they got operated on their arm. They got the same doctor to perform the same operation separately. They did a DNA test. Their parents don't know each other. They're not even related, but they're the similar in a lot of ways.
Similarities, and well, guess what?
There we go.
More. For one, they both look almost identical. They both have had the same surgery from the same doctor, and they even dress similar, wearing the same glasses. It would seem that the random person generator that populates this planet with
It's
people
the Sims.
might have glitched and made two copies of the same dude. People thought that they might have been long-lost twins that were separated at birth. A DNA test showed that that wasn't true, but they did have the same German ancestry. Coming in next on the list, we have the cat reflection. I don't know what kind of software is going into making the mirrors in our giant simulation world, but it would seem that this is a place ripe for glitches. Oh, and just so we're clear, I'm not a believer in simulation theory. I just like playing along with the theme for this list. But even though I think that everything can be explained logically, this next clip is a little trippy. The CPU that is in charge of getting everything running must have been putting the computing power somewhere else when this went off. I mean, that would be a good sign to tell if you are an important person if you think simulation theory is real. Like, if this is indeed a simulation, I'm going to play with this idea for a moment, and there are a bunch of glitches around you, that would mean that the universal computing power is being used somewhere else on more important and interesting people. So, if you see those glitches, that's your sign to step up your game because your life is boring. Next on the list, we have Mark Zuck is a Matrix program. If there's anyone that could be a lizard person or a robot or an alien or some sort of simulation-based software person that has been put into the world to control us and cause havoc, it would be Mark Zuckerberg. And there have been several moments
like an alien.
where people have caught this poor excuse for an alien trying to be a human acting weird. But this one has to be my favorite.
You need to focus and try not to let stuff bother you as much as possible. But it is going to bother you because you're human, and I was human. I am human, still.
The Zuck was caught red-handed saying that he wasn't a human. That has to be one of the most obvious glitches ever. The programmers would have been like, who's in charge of writing the script?
He's awkward and
Zuckerberg,
fucking...
why did you make
he's
him
always
act
been
like a
awkward.
robot and make references to not being human because you're blowing our cover big time? I mean, let's say in the next few years there's a massive revolution and we get into a bunch of secret files about which famous people living among us are aliens and which ones are humans. I would be more surprised to find out that this guy is actually fully human. Next on the list, we have the rain spot. I mean, we all hate bad weather, so I think many of us would prefer if we could condense it into one spot and have everything else nice all the time. Well, I guess there must have been a trial run for some new rain patches because that's what we got here. It would seem that for some reason the clouds in that area have glitched out and the rain is pouring down in only one spot. I've never seen anything like that before in my life. Now that has to be some sort of glitch or the plot to a children's book called The Loneliest Rain Cloud. A book about a cloud that is rainy all the time, but all the other clouds around him are nice, so he has no friends. And he travels around everywhere trying to make friends, but everyone runs from him because they don't want to get wet. Someone get my publicist on the phone because I have a book to write. Next on the list, guys, we have the smartphone time traveler. One of the wildest things ever caught on camera is the footage from a Mike Tyson fight that looks
It's
like
not a
filming the
fucking
fight in the
phone,
background.
it's a camera. It's an LG camera for back then. First of all, it's so fucking fuzzy.
The reason that this is so weird is because the footage is from 1995, and even though there were some phones back then that could have been considered smartphones, there was nothing released that had a camera on it. That wouldn't be released for another 5
Yeah, but you're assuming
years.
it's a
And
phone.
when you look at
It
the
doesn't.
footage,
It could be a
seems like that
camera
phone
though.
is a very
There were cameras that
modern
did look like that.
smartphone. Now, this could have been some device that simply looks like a phone, and people have been making the case to say that this is in fact a smartphone, so they can argue that time travel is real, but really, we have no idea what happened here. We have no idea who was recording this Mike Tyson fight with this mysterious device. Next on the list, guys, we have a plane vanishes. Now, there have been a lot of reports of all sorts of stuff like this. Like, apparently, all of the alien stuff that happened in Roswell, New Mexico, that was all faked by the government because they were testing out experimental aircrafts, and they decided that making people think that aliens were real was safer than telling them what the military was up to. So what you're about to see might be some secret government aircraft caught on camera, or it might be a glitch. I mean, you all saw what I just saw, right? There was a plane there, and then it was gone. Everyone was focused on it. It was in the sky, and then it blinked out of existence
super
like half the
pixelated.
people in Avengers Infinity War. Also, random question for the comments. Would you rather be one of the people who blinked out of existence when Thanos snapped his fingers and then came back 3 years later to a whole new world, or would you have rather been there the whole time and lived through the whole thing and saw the world post-snap? Well, whoever was on the plane seems like they didn't have a choice in disappearing because now they are for sure gone. Unless the sky is all a massive projection and that was just a glitch on one of the screens. And coming in at the #1 spot, we have the Pope vanishes. Now, I will start off by saying I have no idea what the Pope does and what his powers are. Can he fly? Can he control the weather? Does he have telekinesis? I never went to church, so I don't know. So the
He
clip
can give
that went
Italian
viral of
mass,
him vanishing
or
about a
Latin
year
mass.
ago might be one of his holy powers, or it was a glitch that no one was supposed to see. Let's take a look. That was something that was seen from the Pope's balcony as he was addressing people about the COVID-19 pandemic. After his speech was done, he just vanished, and there were several news outlets that showed the exact same thing. So this wasn't just a broadcast that screwed up. Some say this might have been a hologram of the Pope because he was actually isolating somewhere and didn't want to catch the virus. I mean, we know that hologram tech is real. Most of us have seen that massive Tupac hologram that came out.
Yeah, and imagination goes nuts when you fucking just start saying things and stuff like that. It's really weird. I don't know. A lot of those videos I didn't. There's explanations for them. A lot of them looked fake, to be fair. I wasn't very swayed by them, but yeah. Yeah, so I don't know if I know I didn't have a ton of chatters tonight, but if you guys like shows like this, I might actually start doing these in October. You know, maybe do like one a week when Halloween is around, so you know, to get into the mood of this stuff. But yeah, tell me what you guys think. Hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of the weekend. I'm going to try and stream tomorrow night, and if I do, I will be continuing with Deus Ex Mankind Divided. And I will be back. I will try to be back tomorrow night. If not, it will be Tuesday night, where I will be streaming again Deus Ex Mankind Divided. You guys can reach out to me. You can reach out on my Discord. And you can also follow me on Twitter at CorporateGamer9. That's where I let everybody know when I'm streaming, and I put on my schedule there too. So Hope that you guys have a wonderful week and weekend, and I shall see you next time. Have a good one, guys. Ciao.